What the hell are you?
We are Gamer Potheads.
Welcome, fellow Gamer Pothead, Joe Putty Man here, and today we are doing the official review of Venom, the movie. Of course, I'm going to go through the non-spoiler review, talk to you about things that will not spoil the movie for you, what you should expect as far as quality and quantity when it comes to this movie. First and foremost, I'm going to go through the actors. We're going to go through actors, plot, things of that nature. Not, great detail when it comes to plot, but just things that, things that are basis, basically. Anyway, so at this point, let's first talk about the main star of it, Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock, aka Venom. Now, Tom Hardy does fit this role perfectly. He is Eddie Brock. I don't think any notes were missed when it comes to it, especially with the comedic roles, the relationship between the symbiote and Eddie Brock himself. I myself felt like there was a few things missing when it comes to his origin that were crucial to what made Eddie Brock himself a great character. But as far as the Venom, I can see where they were going with this, and they're not good. Same thing with the Venom a little bit, but I don't want to go too much into spoiler territory when it comes to that. Now, as far as the character of Carlton Drake, played by Riz Ahmed, he does a great job of looking sincere and looking evil. It's not a problem at all. It seems to come naturally for him. The Life Foundation is involved in this, and when it comes to the symbiotes, the way they set up the symbiotes in this movie, it's very good. The main villain is Riot, which really isn't any kind of spoiler or anything like that. That's the main villain. How Riot becomes involved is a little bit different than I feel in the comic books. It most definitely is different than it was in the comic books. But it does serve for a good role, and it does serve that he does have that menacing tone to him. Now, the next person I want to talk about is Dora Skirth, played by Jenny Slate. Now, she's not a main comic book character. She's actually a new character that they made for the movie. I'm a big fan of Jenny Slate. I felt that this was a role for her, but not having anything compared to, just based on her role. I'm more for her as a comedic artist, not really as a action artist, and she didn't have any really comedic parts, much like what Tom Hardy did in this movie. Now, the one role I did love was actually Michelle Williams playing Anne Wayne, which is Eddie Brock's love interest. And I loved the way she portrayed the character. I felt very comfortable with her. I was very proud. There's a great Easter egg within it that people may not understand, which I will definitely go into spoiler territory if you're not familiar with it when I get to that point. Now, there are other actors that, unfortunately, I was kind of spoiled about being in this movie, and they said that the actors would be in it, and whether or not they're in it, I will not spoil that for you guys, but I will state that, unfortunately, if you did watch those, you pretty much, I'm going to leave it at that. So, now, in a whole, when it comes to this movie, it's very enjoyable. There is plenty of action-packed parts. I feel the battle between the good and bad guy seemed a little shorter than I was hoping for, and not as visceral as I was hoping. Not to say that there's no visceralness to it. It's just more of, I think it was calmed down. But when it did happen, it was very enjoyable. I will state that. And I was a little bit backened on how the Venom character reacted to his relationship with the bad guy. Let's just put it that way. When it comes to issues like the comic books of Venom, Lethal Protector, those are really what these are based off of. It's based about it's close to kind of like what they use the Clint RCs, that kind of thing. But that's as far as I will go when it comes to that. But overall, the movie was good. It's not going to say it's the best Marvel movie out there. I will state that there were plenty of little secrets, little things that were nods to the geeks, and some things that were changed that I guess they had to. And that's based on maybe maybe where they were located, that kind of situation. Overall, great, fantastic movie. Go see it. I feel like they could have went for the rated R and maybe still made it better, but maybe because they felt it wasn't needed, that's why we didn't need it. And it may have been just for a few cuss words or something like that that could possibly have been slipped in, which isn't really needed when it comes to not having that Deadpool edge to it. And so having the PG-13 rating is probably the smartest thing Sony can do. It broadens up the open doors so we can have a Spider-Verse when it comes to these live-action movies, things of that nature. I definitely would go see it. I would take some time to go support it. It is definitely on the right track. I do see that there are some plot holes in the situation, unfortunately. But when you're looking at it in a whole compared to what else we have, there's been a lot of horrible X-Men movies that this undoubtedly was better. There's been a lot of misses when it comes to other Marvel movies. Marvel Cinematic Universe with Disney, that right there is pretty solid, so I'm not really worried about that. And that's why I'm not really concerned that this is going to drag it down. I don't see it dragging down at all, actually. I think this actually could benefit in giving a more visceral. This is actually a good way to lead into a more adult edge of Marvel, bringing Deadpool into this world, so that way you can have characters like Tom Holland, Spider-Man mixed in with it, things of that nature. And it's based on how dark it can be and how further it can go, guys. And the thing is it needs the support to know that we want it to go further. So please go support the movie. I did enjoy it. I still put Guardians of the Galaxy above this. I'll definitely put Deadpool above this still. But I can guarantee you that there are a lot of extra movies that fall underneath this, a lot of them, and a lot of other older movies like Blade 2, things of that nature that I feel kind of fall under it as well. But I want to hear what you guys think. Comment below. Tell me what you guys think. Now, what we're going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and pop up on the screen the big old red letters that you want to hear if you've already seen the movie. If you haven't seen the movie, stop now, because I'm going to give you your spoiler warning right now. Spoiler warning. Do not continue from here. I am about to spoil a lot of plot details, characters, big things that are going to happen in Venom, so I need you to stop right now. Okay, are we safe now? Awesome. Okay, so there was a lot of changes in this movie, which is understandable. I'm going to go into details of those changes, but I'm going to get more into the hype nature. So here's my thing. If you really haven't seen the movie and we're looking for the finer details, just stop and go see the movie, because I'm about to bust open the big stuff right now, guys, and I don't want you to be spoiled. So first and foremost, oh my god, Woody Harrelson as Cletus Cassidy, aka Carnage. I love how they kind of brought in he was Carnage, or he's going to bring Carnage, as he said. I don't think he has a symbiote, because the thing is, if he has a symbiote, those shackles will not hold him. He'd be out of there ripping things apart, taking apart Venom. But here's my thing that makes me curious. Cletus seems to know that he is Venom. So why there's such a plot hole in that, but it makes me excited because Woody Harrelson looks fucking bonkers, and it feels like maybe they were right in queuing him in for this role. It makes me very, very excited. Now, I do also want to point out that we do have the setup for the Foundation's Guardian symbiotes, and part of that mutually assured destruction that's part of the Life Foundation, MAD. The Foundation's Guardian symbiotes, if you don't know, continues of Agony, Lasher, Phage, and Riot, Agony, Lash, and Phage. Okay, and what ends up happening is they actually do bond to make a thing called Hybrid. Now, they showed other symbiotes in this movie that you saw, and those are potentially setups for Agony, Lash, and Phage, which could set up for the next movie having Carnage in there, which definitely looks like Carnage will be on the road to that'll be a big thing. So I think maybe Carnage is going to be the one to set up getting getting Agony, Lash, and Phage deep into the core role of this. Definitely going to be set up. That's why I think the Scott Hayes, the Reed Scott, the Michelle Lee, and the Sophia Luco, I think those are the characters that are actually involved in that. Now, as far as Eddie Brock's origin story, his origin story is quite different. Anne Wang, the Anne Wang character, which is his fiance in the movie, but in the comic books, it's actually his ex-wife. Well, okay, I'm going to get back to her in just a second. Let's go ahead and get back to basically why this happened. Basically, the original reason why Eddie became good, aka became good / with Venom, was because Spider-Man saved his ex-wife, Anne Wang's life. She was nearly crushed under, I think it was a Ferris wheel, and Spider-Man saved her. And seeing that happen, Venom ends up becoming good and helping Spider-Man. And that's where the Venom Lethal Protector series came in. Now, Anne Wang, if you guys don't understand, at one point, well, of course, if you're watching this right now, spoilers. Anne Wang, in the comic, ended up wearing the Venom outfit, okay? Now, I thought they were going to wait till maybe like the second or third movie and have her wear it for a moment, kind of like Iron Man or Pepper Potts in Iron Man. But no, right out the gate, or not right out the gate, but I should say right in the middle of that freaking movie, he does not have the Venom outfit, and she's wearing it. Now, my God, you guys don't know how freaking flipped out I went on that. I'm actually going to show you a picture of the comic book where she's actually playing the Venom symbiote, and she was just called Venom because you got to think the Venom symbiote is Venom, but it conforms to the host's body, so it conformed to her body, and oh my God, they pulled it off. Like, I'm not deny it. It's a little bit hot. It's a little bit hot. But my point is, they did it. They did the Anne Wang Venom real quick. I don't think it's going to ever continue like that. I don't think they're going to broaden upon that. But just to see that they actually did that is a huge Easter egg for us geeks. Huge. Now, the thing is this is where I have a little problem. When it comes to Eddie Brock character, the thing that we're missing when it comes to Eddie Brock was the first, the muscle-bound, roided out feeling of Eddie Brock before he became good. Prior to that, he was very, very mad at Spider-Man because of Spider-Man actually unmasking a certain character. Basically, I can't remember what it was, but there was actually a story where they actually they were on the trail of a certain character that I can't think of right now. God, for the life of me, doing this review, I'm just going to forget about certain things that I never even put notes about or anything like that, and I can't think of the name of the character. But they were going after a character, and I think it was Sin Eater, I don't remember. But anyway, point into the whole thing is this. Because Spider-Man unveiled it, he was mad at Spider-Man, never mad at Peter Parker. But then some of the roles show, like I think it was the cartoon where Eddie Brock actually gets mad at Peter Parker for getting better shots at Spider-Man. Those were some of the origin stories of where he became mad at Spider-Man and then eventually getting the Venom suit. We're not going to have that roided out anger of Eddie Brock that really, really pumped up what the Venom character was. Because once Venom Lethal Protector series came out, we got the more not slapstick, but I should say the more rival between each other. And see, the thing is, what people realize is Venom is actually made by Todd McFarlane. You can actually see a lot of Spawn's character in the Venom character. But Venom was actually made first. So when we first got Venom, he was visceral, he was hard. And then when we got to Lethal Protector, he was still visceral, but he was starting to calm down and be the good guy, or I should say the anti-hero. And this one, it's like he's the anti-hero, but it's not. It comes to that conclusion way too quickly for me. And for them to really make him a pushover compared to Riot kind of made me mad. That's something that did kind of quite upset me when it came to that. Now, again, Cletus Cassidy, played by Woody Harrelson at the end, was great. If you did stick at the end, I do like how they also went into the Spider-Verse, the new Spider-Man anime movie that's coming out in December. That was a great lead into it, especially when they say, meanwhile, in another universe, or alternate universe, and then they started showing a scene from that movie, which makes me interested because now we know that Prowler is the enemy, which, if you don't know, Prowler is actually the father to Miles Morales, which is the Spider-Man that they're portraying in this movie, so, or into the Spider-Verse. So that's the second Easter egg they actually brought up. I won't get too much into it, but I just thought that was pretty cool, and I thought I'd pretty note on that. So I'm trying to think what else I might have known. Oh, okay, the changes. So first and foremost, we didn't have the Daily Bugle. I know they made a joke and said Daily Globe, that he got fired from the Daily Globe. I think that's as close as they can go to say Daily Bugle because they need to keep the Daily Bugle as something for Spider-Man. And then, of course, it's set in San Francisco, not New York. I kind of would have liked a New York atmosphere, but I think the reason that they did that is so that it wouldn't be there wouldn't be no familiarity with Spider-Man right away, or him having to mention it, and for Spider-Man to be aware that he's actually out there. Again, the thing at the end with Carnage, a.k.a. Cletus Cassidy, played by Woody Harrelson, I'm still not familiar with why he would know Venom when he clearly doesn't have the symbiote, and if he does have the symbiote, how is he being held back from breaking those shackles and breaking from those things and just going at the guards or whoever it might be? Maybe you can answer that. Maybe there's something I'm missing that I'm not seeing that you definitely can tell me. But yeah, there's a lot of the crucial stuff that I thought about that could be, that was changed, things of nature. Anne Wang, Anne Wang, and I loved her role. I feel she did a great job. Tom Hardy did a great job. The three main people in the movie I feel did great. I'm very, very excited for Woody Harrelson as Cletus Cassidy. I was a little bit taken back by Riot traveling through all the bodies, though. I felt like that was kind of a miss in my eyes. It just felt like I know what their pathway was, but I feel like see, the thing is, Riot was so focused on Venom. Why didn't he focus on the other symbiotes? And what happened to them? Were they supposed to be on the thing? Were they all destroyed? But there's so many plot holes in that situation. Because basically, in the comic book, they actually pulled these characters. Agony, Riot, Lash, and Rage were pulled from Venom as Clentar seeds. And not having that in there kind of changes things. I mean, again, even the character of Riot was actually played by a different character. And so, which unfortunately I can't think of the name of that right now, but the character of Carlton Drake was actually not part of that. Now, the one thing I will say, though, with the San Francisco part, that is good because they did set, when Venom Lethal Protector in San Francisco, they moved him away from New York, within the Spider-Man universe, to San Francisco. So that's why the San Francisco thing did make sense in that way. Not having in New York in the beginnings, it kind of feels like it's jumbled because he does mention the Daily Globe, which I don't know if that's their way of saying Daily Bugle from New York. And what's the new company he works for? I'm completely unraveled by that. But that's it. Will we be leading into a Maximum Carnage? Who knows? We have plenty of other movies in the Spider-Verse when it comes to, characters that they're going to make. As far as this movie, I love the little hidden stuff and everything. The banter between Eddie Brock and Venom is just hilarious. Again, I felt like the Doris Griff character played by Jenny Slate was kind of missed. I love the Easter egg of his wife Anne Wang, or fiance, I should say, Anne Wang, actually putting on the symbiote suit and becoming Venom for a moment there. That was pretty cool. But tell me what you guys think below. I'll try not to spoil anything for anyone, guys. Definitely check over on Roblox Games. Me and John from Camper Reviews will be doing a discussion of this, so we'll go more into detail than I have today. I want to make some points that I didn't bring up today, and explain it in there, because, for example, the way Riot was created in the comic book is totally different than it did here. Again, it was Trevor Cole that was actually Riot in the beginning, not Carlton Drake, but that's a whole other story we can do on that podcast. But I want to thank you all for watching. Make sure to hit the like button, make sure to hit the subscribe button, make sure to hit the little notification bell and become part of the notification squad. This has been my official review for Venom. It is a great movie. It's still a good movie. Definitely go see it. Please support it, because if we want more of this, we need it. I think that having some of those plot holes can be filled in for later movies, but we'll definitely see what's going to happen. And as always, I am Puttyman with Z Gamer Potheads. And do not forget, we're all about that score. Appreciate you guys coming out to see this review, and I will talk to you later in my next review. Peace.